Konnichiwa!
Minasan konnichiwa!
Hello everyone, after 3 weeks later, welcome back to another edition of Talk to Keki. I am Matt, your host, and joining me is a man who has backstage heats. The reason why we have been away for so long. Ethan, what's up?
I chuckle at the backstage sheet. That always makes me chuckle as a wrestling fan. But
Yes,
yeah,
that's why I said it.
yeah, let me lead off the show with my sincerest condolences for myself. But no, I'm just kidding. I do want to lead off with
It is you.
It is, I know. No,
Okay, before that though, what our last episode after we hung up, that was what he told me. Oh, by the way, I'm gone for a week. Instead of saying it as his closing thing before we cut off.
Sorry. Go
minasan. So I was like, yeah, son of a bitch. Should have said it a minute before we hung up. But anyway, during that time, though, we have met up for a day. We had a blast. Food, drinks, sports.
Got tipsy, talked a lot.
And some music, to basically ignore us talking.
Basically. I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too. We'll have another one soon. But yeah, so basically him being away was not in vain. However, now we know a week off for him is basically missing a quarter of a season.
Seriously, dude. No, but it's, all right. So let me break this down for everybody.
Okay.
I do have a fucking life outside of watching anime. I'm not a fucking
right.
Okay, I'm not a shut-in.
Yeah, and so do I.
Yeah, we're live. So for me though, you know what I mean? Like I go to the gym 3 times a week. I work a full-time job in security, in IT security. So I can't just fuck off as much as I want to. I can't just fuck off at work anymore like I used to when I used to work at a call center overnight. So it pulls that back. I go to the boxing gym 3 times a week, as I said. By the time I come home, I eat, I chill, I maybe watch an episode or two, and then I knock out. And then during the weekend, I'm always out either watching the fights or I'm going to dubstep events. Lately, I've been going to dubstep events, things of that nature. I got people coming over to hang out with me. So I've been putting anime, as much as I think about anime every single day, because I truly do think of anime every single day. Just watching things consistently has been a struggle. So the reason why it took us 3 weeks is because of the fact, as Matthew said, I was on vacation. And so when you're on vacation, you don't really sit in front of your tablet or your TV and watch anime. You go out and do shit. So yeah. I got backed up significantly, and then being here, I just again trying to, because there's so many shows. How many did we go through? Like 10? Maybe
more or less, yeah. And again, the fact you're on vacation, you just want to relax, and then it takes a little bit to adjust back to after vacation.
Yeah, just getting a thing. So it took us basically. I was behind a week more or less, and then shit. Hold on a second, my headset died. God damn it! Hold on.
Technical difficulties again, folks.
Technical difficulties again. I'll go get batteries during our break. Let's continue the conversation in the meantime. So, as I was saying, yeah, it took me a while to basically get my bearings back in, and we were watching so many different anime, so it took me a while to catch up. It took me approximately 2 weeks to catch up, and I'm still not caught up on a couple of the anime. So today you won't hear me talk about Boruto, you won't hear me talk about Scarlet Nexus, because I'm still behind on those, and unfortunately you won't hear us talk about Aquatope as of yet, because I'm still behind on that. My ultimate goal for us to be able to record this podcast was to be able to finish off every single anime that concluded this season, and Aquatope, Boruto, Scarlet Nexus, and others that I believe, Matthew, you may be watching one or another one, right? I don't know, are you?
Out of those?
Aquatope? No, just
I finished Aquatope.
Oh no, but I'm saying like there's no other ones that you're looking at right now that are continuous, right? Only Aquatope.
Yeah, I think it's just Aquatope for us, aside from like the normal seasonal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so we won't talk about that this week. You'll hear us talk about that in a few weeks from now, because let me just give you the rundown of what we're going to do. So this is going to be a long episode, as you imagine, because the summer season is over and we have a fuck ton to talk about. So we're going to break this down, hopefully, in a single episode. If it's too long, you'll get a 2-parter. And then you're going to get a separate episode that we're going to record coming up Monday from now. From our recording as of now, we're going to record again on Monday, and that'll be our seasonal awards and our breakdowns for that. And then we also have a special announcement on Monday as well, in terms of the future of the podcast, something that I know our listeners will thoroughly enjoy, and something I know you'll enjoy, Matthew. I won't really as much, because it's not my alleyway per se, but I'll make do.
But I think it will help us.
It will, hopefully.
Then what you call it? After the awards, we're gonna do our official lineup of what we're gonna be watching that fall.
Exactly. And then we're gonna have another break because Matthew's going on his honeymoon, I think, right? Honeymoon.
Oh, it's my 3-year anniversary. We're going to Iceland.
Ooh, fancy.
What you call it? But the fact that we are going to possibly have this as a two-parter means that there'll be an extra. We won't be behind in terms of episodes being uploaded onto websites.
Yes.
So there won't be a backlog if this somehow turns into a two-parter. But basically, we're going to do the awards Monday. Then next week, we're going to start our fall stuff. Not reviews, just basically our thoughts on what we're watching.
Yeah.
Then when I come back from vacation, that's when we're going to basically get right to it. I'll be on vacation till that following Thursday. I'll be back this Sunday. So if we do the recording like the Wednesday, like my last day of vacation, I'll be definitely caught up, and we do proper reviews going forward with that.
Yeah, and I don't have too much shit that backs me up because this season is going to be fucking crazy.
Yep. So we will see. Anyway, before we get to the reviews, because again we're just gonna dive right into it. But before that, we do have some unfortunate news. Yesterday, the manga creator of Golga 13, Takao Saitou, died at the age of 84. But yeah, we found out about this. I haven't read the manga myself, but it is a popular one. Various volumes. He's been doing this since. He started publishing Go-Go 13 since 1968.
Jesus Christ, dude. We weren't even a gleam in our grandfather's eye.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if he's in the Guinness World Records for like most published volumes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still amazing.
You know the amount of money. A fun fact that I learned about mangaka is that on average they make anywhere from $90 to $105, about 10 to 15,000 yen per page they draw. So
and the normal is about 13 to 15 pages.
Yeah. Can you imagine all the fucking
that's about almost 60 years.
Yeah, he made a damn good living there.
And it adapted to a movie in '83. There was a video anime in 1998, and 50 episodes on TV from 2008 to 2009. But yeah, unfortunately here, and we send our condolences to his family, loved ones. Actually, it was also due to pancreatic cancer.
That sucks. Yeah. That's like one of my biggest fears in life, dude, is like to get a terminal cancer.
Well, that was how my partner's father died. Both parents.
Yeah,
one pancreatic, one colon.
Yeah, my grandfather had a colon.
But cancer. I apologize. It's September 24th is when he passed away.
My birthday.
Yeah. Hey, that's your birthday gift. You killed this famous manga creator.
God damn it! I'm sorry.
Way to go. Anyway, should we just get to the meat of the matter, though?
Yeah, we got a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we're gonna slide in this motherfucker.
Alrighty.
Hey, we're back. Tadaima!
All right, welcome back, everyone. Ethan, would you care to start us off? Also, for the fans, this is how it's gonna work. Since even though we're 3 episodes behind, we're gonna talk about the penultimate and the finale episode because those are the most important ones for the season. So, but if anything happened beforehand, like important, then we'll talk about it briefly. But other than that, we're just going to talk about the last 2 episodes specifically.
Yeah. How do I sound, by the way? I just changed the batteries. I'm using my my fucking Fire Stick batteries because I know they told me those are low, so I might as well kill those too.
Okay. I hear you fine.
All right. Subarashi deshita. Hi. Okay, so let's talk about the ones that I did. What are we looking at? Let me pull this bitch up because I was fucking around. My bad. Fucking up again. God damn it. Tsukimichi. I want to start off with Tsukimichi because Tsukimichi.
All right, go ahead. Start with whatever you want.
Tsukimichi, bro, fucking it pulled off a fucking wild final 2 episodes, basically. And I have to really talk about I have to talk about episode 10 as well. I have to talk about the episode.
Go ahead. By all means.
Basically, if I'm not mistaken, we left off on episode 9. Episode 10, basically, Mio and Makoto go into the forest, and they meet up with the elves, and the elves attack them, and then they also meet a group of adventurers led by a woman who was basically acting as like a con artist on the street, pretending to be a whore, and so he ends up saving their lives as they're being attacked by the elves, and he manages to basically hold them captive in the Forbidden City. And what happens is he goes back, he earns the trust of the elves because of the fact that fucking what's her face? Now I'm forgetting her name. Tomoe. Tomoe basically made the barrier for the elven city. So he manages to get their respect, and he tries to bring them into the Forbidden City. He does later on as well while he's away, but we'll get to that later. So like I said, the adventurers that he ends up basically holding captive are evil indeed. And so a chain of events happen when they try to steal some dwarven defects that are still worth a lot of money because they're made by dwarves, weapons made by dwarves. And so it causes a humongous explosion, and it kills several people, including the fragment of Tomoe. And that leads us into the penultimate episode, where the penultimate episode, Makoto loses his shit. And keep in mind, as I've said throughout the season, Tsukimichi likes to have a lot of funniness. And it was so jarring to see this not be funny. Like, Makoto killed this woman in cold blood, literally. Fucking, she's like, he's like, oh, like, he didn't care. He took off his mask, and she's like, oh boy, you're ugly. Then he started speaking to her. He's like, oh, are you a demi-human? You're not speaking proper English. He's like, I don't care. Like, oh, you basically told her, like, yo, you're a piece of shit. You killed innocent people that didn't need to be innocent because of your greed, da 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 da. And he's just walking with this fucking stare on his face, like, I'm gonna fucking rape this bitch. Like, that's literally what it looked like. And so she attacks. She's like, don't come closer, don't come closer. And she attacks with one of the swords that she stole. And Makoto, with a small blade that he was given to by one of the ogres that was killed, I think it was one of the ogres that was killed, slices this woman's hands off. And she's, oh my God, my arms, my arms, my arms. So her hands are sliced off. And she's like, no, don't come closer, don't come closer. And literally with cold blood, he's like, shut up. And he slits her fucking throat, bro. Fucking slit her throat, and she fucking just died. And it's really powerful because, in terms of like an emotional level, we always say, like, I'm prepared to kill for my family. I would kill anybody for blah, blah, blah. I would kill this person at this. But bro, when it really happens, like, dude, like, how are you really supposed to feel? And so he started thinking back to when he was a child about how there was like a dead rabbit or something. It was like some sort of dead animal. And he's like, Mama, I want to save the animal. And his mother's like, no, it's dead. You can't save it. And he started crying. And so he hadn't experienced death since that moment. And he just sits there and he cries. He's like, why am I crying? This woman killed my friends. Why am I crying? And he's like, oh, death is sad. That's right. Death, you're supposed to cry when something dies. Wow. And that was a very powerful moment. And so that's basically the gist of the penultimate episode. The penultimate episode ends with him wanting to go to this neutral city so he can learn magic, and he does it with the Licht, which, by the way, the Licht, briefly, is basically controlling one of the elves. I believe the two elf girls, their master, he's controlling it, and Makoto easily defeats the elf, and that's how the whole chain of event happens with Tomoe and the elven city, of how, like, oh, I'm the one who gave you the barrier, da 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 da, etc. So they go to the Forbidden City, they go to the school, and the penultimate episode ends with him with the goddess saying, I found you, and he forcibly teleports Makoto to a battlefield where there's an impending war between the humans and the demons. And so the final episode basically it starts off with this fucking incredible battle. Like, there's been some cool magic in Tsukimichi because it is an isekai, and as I've said before, Makoto is OP as fuck because he was summoned from another world. But my God, bro, like, we saw full blood fucking Makoto trying to fend for his life, trying to defeat these two like heads of like the demon army basically. And he created a whole like lake with a fucking arrow from the skies. He's falling from the heavens. It was I'm not doing this battle justice, but it was fucking incredible, dude. Like
Nice.
it was goddamn incredible for real. So he manages to escape into the demon city and he passes out. He lost his fingers in the battle. He lost his middle finger and his ring finger on his left hand as part of the battle, and he still kept going. Still was fucking OP as shit. And he passes out when he gets back to the I guess what kind of city, whatever, like not the Forbidden City, but the Enchanted City, some shit. I forget what the city name is. But anyway, he wakes up. He's nursed back to health, and he explains everything that happens to Tomoe the Licked and Mio. And he says, listen, I'm still going to go back. And so basically, we also find out there are two other heroes that he didn't get a chance to meet because of the whole events that happened. So basically, the goddess has three heroes. They call them the disciples of the goddess. And so the two that she basically kept and gave her divine power and all of that, they stayed in the battle and they were there. But Makoto does not have any sort of divine intervention from the goddess. And he's more OP than both of them because of his training and his anger. Like, it's pretty fucking wicked, dude. So basically, the season ends with him wanting to go back to the city, the neutral city, for him to go to school and learn his magic and all that stuff. And they basically, we see the elves, they're in the city now and all of that. So, I mean, man, that was a strong fucking end considering. Like, it went from funny, still funny, like, oh, there's some action, still funny, it was super dark, and then super action. Like, it was fucking dope. So there's that one. We'll go with Million Lives next, and we'll skip Scarlet Nexus. Million Lives. Another good end to the season, and I'll go over this during my review as we go along. But basically, the episode basically has the I forget her name now because I'm so again I watched all these way back now, but I forget her name. What the fuck is her name? Like there's like a little girl basically, and the little girl. Fuck, man, how do I describe this? Basically, long story short, as they're traveling, trying to get out of the city, their ultimate objective is to get out of the forest, and they're trying to find a place called New Eden, and it's basically based off a myth. And so, Iris, let's start the penultimate episode. At the end of episode 10, Iris is basically she kills the man who killed her grandfather, but Iris she's been taken over by like this parasite. It's like a snake in the eye. And basically when you get taken over, you're dead. Like it's already a wrap. And so they forced Tori-san to kill her. So he fucking chops off her head. And he's sad because Iris really took a liking toward Tori, and it made him feel sad. But basically they're trying to find out how she got infected. And so the gang also mentions how they feel tired, they feel weak, and it's the same symptoms from Jiffon Island. And basically they surmise that there's a dragon wizard or something like that. Basically it's someone who's devout to the dragons. They want to resurrect the dragons. So they do what's called a blood sacrifice, and they drain all the mana from the humans so they can give it to the dragon and they can revive it. So they surmise that, oh, it's the same thing. There's a dragon wizard around. And so basically Yotsuya goes to try and find New Eden, and Glenn is in charge of trying to find the dragon wizard, and the other heroes are basically playing support as needed, battling and assisting them basically. And come to find out, long story short, Yotsuya accidentally finds New Eden. And he finds it through a parable that the old man, the grandfather, said before he died. He said, only those who have accepted their death are able to find New Eden. When you hear that, it means, oh, like you only reach New Eden when you die. They're making it seem like heaven or Valhalla or whatever you believe in. But what happens is they basically come to a waterfall, and they feel the presence of like some sort of like life in there, but they can't find it. So it clicks with Yotsuya, and he's like, I'll be right back. And he basically commits suicide. He jumps into this fucking waterfall, and he goes deep into like a cavern, and he's like, oh, why is the water flow different? And he manages to swim, and he finds New Eden behind the waterfall. hidden from the dragon princess. At the same time that this happens, Glenn manages to corner the dragon warrior, dragon wizard, whatever it's called, and it ends up being her name is Jezebel. That's the girl. It ends up being Jezebel, which is the girl that basically takes over the entire second half of the season, and it ends up being her. Come to find out, she has the ability to implant memories, and the reason why she's found out in the end is because of the fact that her brother, who she claimed was her brother, basically had like a mental impairment, like he like fell on his head or something, and or it was like from tragedy. Basically, like, you ever have that, like, I forget what it's called, but you know when like somebody very close to you dies, or somebody you cared about dies, and you become like despondent, like you're just like void of, and you're like a shell of yourself, and you say nothing, you feel nothing, you don't cry, you don't smile, you don't say anything, you're just like a void of like nothing. Basically, that was the boy. Yeah, that was the boy. And so Jezebel has this power to implant false memories into people, or mind control people and animals and the monsters. But because this boy was despondent and had this mental issue, he didn't he wasn't affected. So he wakes up from his issue. He gets over it. He falls on his head again, and he gets over it eventually. And when they're like, "Oh, this is your sister," he's like, "I don't have a sister." So basically, Glenn puts that two and two together, and we're like, "Oh, Jezebel, you're the dragon princess," and she turns wicked, and she's like, "Ah, ha, 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 you knew." And they go over like everything that happened. And then basically the final episode is a final battle between Jezebel and the monsters, and Yotsuya and the warriors. And of course, the heroes come out on top, and they manage to save the village. Basically, they clear the quest, and they're on their merry way. Glenn, because she was the one who found Jezebel, ends up getting to ask the question at the end of the mission. They always allow you to ask one question, and you're able to answer it, or you're able to ask it. So she asked, "Why is it?" And this is a callback to, and I'll talk about it again during the review on Monday. But they did a callback from like the middle of like the first season, and they're like, "Hey, why is it that a giant dragon comes into our world and fucking kills everybody?" And they say that, "Oh, there's basically a portal somewhere on Earth that allows like this dragon to be awoken." So all events are leading to another season of Million Lives, and basically we find out what's going on. And at the end of the day, and one of the things, again, I'll talk about it during the season, is Yotsuya finds himself, and he ends up on his balcony staring out into Tokyo, and he's visited by the girl, by like the magical girl or whatever she's called, and she's like, "So what do you think?" And he's like, "I understand the value of life more. I understand the value of living. It's almost as if, you know, with our quest as heroes, we're standing on a million lives," which is the title of the show. And he's like,
credits.
And he's like, "I'll keep living. I'll keep fighting for the sake of the world, for the sake of ourselves." And then roll credits. So that was a really good end to a really solid storytelling season. It's a mediocre anime except for the storytelling this season. The storytelling was really, really good. We'll go next. Again, I'm skipping Boruto because I haven't seen Boruto. So the last one we're going to go with from my side is Slime. Holy shit, Slime was fucking great. Oh my God. I'm going to let you know. All right, spoiler alert, guys. Slime is in there with Remake for me as my anime of the season. I won't tell you which one it is. You'll have to wait for Monday and listen to that episode to find out what I'm choosing. But it's Slime and it's Remake. My God, Slime is wicked. I just knocked my cord off of my headset. God damn it. Hold on.
Stop breaking the cords.
Son of a bitch. Fucking hell. How do I sound? Do you hear me?
I don't hear the audio. I can hear you, but
you hear me. You don't hear the audio. Okay, so I'm still on Yeti. We're still good. All right, Slime. Ladies and gentlemen, Slime was fucking incredible because you know why? We got full power Rimuru, and we see full power everyone else, and they put cock and fucking ass into fucking Clayman. Like, no lube, no warning, just fucking full on dick in the ass, fucking destroyed it, left it wrecked, killed this motherfucker. It was fantastic. It was glorious seeing Shion, seeing fucking Milim, seeing fucking what's his face? God damn it. Veldora, seeing the fucking robot girl piece up the bitch, seeing freaking Rimuru save the fox girl who's being tortured because Clayman tortures and keeps these people as slaves basically. And oh my god, it was fucking fabulous. Absolutely goddamn fabulous. So they end up killing Clayman. Rimuru basically uses Beelzebub, which is basically the OP gluttony, to suck up the soul and the existence of Clayman, and that's the end of that. He saves one of the fingers, and now the fingers has become his new pet. They piece up one of the other fingers, and that just becomes like just a fucking doll in essence. And yeah, and again, like I said, Shiona's OP. We even find out that Milim it was faking it the whole time. She wasn't under his control because she's OP like Rimuru. So
right.
We find out that basically she was faking it and she was good the whole time. But then that brings up the question of, if she was faking it the whole time, she still destroyed fucking Tanzania. What is it called? The animal kingdom, basically. She destroyed the animal kingdom on her own volition. So basically this sets off a chain reaction where two of the demon lords, Carrion and then I forget the other girl's name. But she's like a dragon girl. They basically say like, no, we're gonna serve Milliam. Carrium's like, listen, like, you defeated me and you destroyed my kingdom, so you're gonna take responsibility for my kingdom, and I'm gonna be like one of your top aides. And fucking the dragon girl's like, I saw Rimuru, I can't stand up to Rimuru unless I'm in the sky, and even then, like, I stand no chance. I'm weak as fuck. I'm just gonna be under Milliam because Milliam is OP, and that's a wrap. So basically, they lost 3 demon lords and managed to get one in Rimuru. So basically the 10 demon lords become 8 demon lords, and they want to come up with a name. And so Rimuru comes up with the name of the 8-point star, the pentagram. He's like, pentagram, the 8 demon lords. And they also Valentine, demon lord Valentine is also revealed, and she's basically now the head compared to a Guy. And you saw Slime, or have you caught up on Slime?
I'm not. I have seen Slime, but I'm not caught up on it.
You're not caught up, man. Wait till you get to the penultimate episode, because the penultimate episode has some legit like yaoi vibes with Guy and Rimuru. Even though Rimuru is really a they, because he recognizes himself as a man. However, he doesn't have a penis, so everyone else recognizes him as a girl, but he doesn't want to be recognized as a girl. He wants to be a man because he was a man.
Yeah, they're genderless. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's genderless. He's androgynous and genderless. Whatever thing you want. He's a they. You know, with all due respect to theys, he's a they right now. So, but yeah, definitely some yaoi vibes, and it was pretty like, oh, okay. And one of our people, shout out to Marte, you fucking cocksucker, fuck you. Marte mentioned, he's like, oh, in the manga it's even crazier, like it looks even more sexualized and all that shit. And I was like, oh shit, so they tamed it down for the anime. But I regress anyway. Yeah, the show is OP as fuck. So now they return back to what's it called, to Tempest, and everything is good. Rimuru is now recognized as a demon lord. He is now Demon Lord Rimuru. All is well, and we move on to what was announced as a movie. Instead of a season 3, we're gonna get a movie, and that'll be pretty wicked. To everybody bitching, oh no, I don't want to see a movie, I want to see season 3. You can fuck off a cliff. I hate people like you. Fuck off a cliff. Splat. Good. Thank you. Bye-bye. Anyway, I didn't do some of those reviews justice. I apologize. I'm still a little rusty. Some of these things, again, I saw Tsukimichi, fucking Million Lives, and Slime last week, so they're not as fresh as some of the other ones that I've binged. So yeah, that's it for me, buddy.
Alrighty, very good. All right, now I'm gonna go with Nighthead 2041 first. And what in the French fry titty fuck was that?
I like French fries and titty fuck, so that's a really bad, like,
but what the shit? Oh my god, a lot happened since we last recorded with this show,
with this monstrosity known as an anime.
Yeah, I mean, we have the prophet that says, hey, the Kuroki brothers go kill the Kirihara brothers. They're like, why? Is because, you know, the whole they saw, because Yuya sees a vision of the Kirihara brothers with the parents. Like, okay, maybe they killed our parents, even though they didn't.
Yeah.
And Yuya's like, no, something's not right. So Takuya, go talk to him. He's like, I got it. I will talk to him for you.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk to him. He wants to fucking fight him. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Jeez.
But the police, some of the police force members died during the fight with the Kirihara brothers. It was because of the prophet giving them too much power. Now you have Yuya and Noya connected in a sense.
Ooh.
But they do explain more that there's two worlds, and Kirihara brothers cannot go back to their world unless they feel their job, and they don't know what their job is.
Ooh.
They don't know exactly what their purpose is.
Ooh.
So that's what they're trying to figure out. But while this is going on, basically the apocalypse in the world they're in now is happening.
Ooh.
So what you call it? And then you find a little more about Futami. Well, the kind of like the
Futanari. What?
Not Futami. Futami.
Guys, if you heard me say Futanari, don't Google that at work. Or do it at work and get fired. I don't
like this celestial being in a high school girl's body.
That sounds
in
awesome.
a sense. But eventually, like I forgot what she said. I ignored the last week, the penultimate. But eventually, the Kirihara brothers and the Kuroki brothers are face to face again, and you have Yuya and Noya like having like this little vision sharing thing.
Yeah.
Takuya is against it. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go find Naoto again. I ain't gonna talk to him again. I'm gonna fight him again.
No talk.
So well the first fucking time.
Hands, motherfucker.
No, with psychic abilities.
Mine, nigga. Let's go.
And Takuya just throws Naoto around, and then you see the police force say, okay, we're gonna kill both of them. Because they're just obeying orders, basically. So those two put the difference aside while Yuya and Naoto are just basically in this little mind thing, trying to figure out what to do to disperse this relationship with the four brothers, because apparently they were told they were destined to kill each other. And then as they're fighting, hey there, you alive?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. As they're fighting, as they're helping each other out, Daisuke,
Daisuke!
Yes, the main cop, he's like, I'm gonna fight you all myself. And you find out he's a sidekick. The main cop is a sidekick too. While he's clapping cheeks to Noya and Takuya the whole time. And you want to know how that fight ends?
Just like this?
No. I wish. I'd rather that. It ends with the prophet shooting the cop in the back.
Oh man.
That's why I was like, you're fucking kidding me. And that was the first couple of minutes.
Shout out to Homicide, cop killer. Let's go.
I was like, okay, he's basically disabled. He got shot he got shot in the spine. He can't walk anymore. He's useless. What the shit?
He's the new Joe Swanson.
Yes. But he's dead anyway. He's dead now. Anyway, the two brothers, they all link up, and they're back at the main place where the Kirihara brothers are normally transported to.
Yeah.
They find out the only way to do this is only two of us had to exist.
Yeah.
So the Kirihara brothers told the Kuroki brothers, like, all right, we're leaving, basically. Because this is not really our place. Like we're in the other world. Like this was our purpose to help them get their balance in that world. So that's when I think, it's a shame that we're all bonded now, basically. Basically trying to kill each other. And then it's just you see the Kirihara brothers walk away. And so now it's just Takuya and Yuya. They go to they're walking by the past shop, and they saw their parents in this antique shop. And so they go in there. They don't say mom, dad right away. They just like say hi, like, hey, we just saw the shop. We looked in. Asked them if they had kids. They're were hesitant, like, yes, but like a long time ago type of thing. And then you see that red black-headed bitch Kimi say, hey, I'm gonna take over shit. I need your powers to help me out here. And she starts to mind fuck them. Like, hey, I made this illusion. They're not real. What really happened is that you actually killed your parents.
Oh.
Because of your psychic powers. And that's why the police kept it under wraps. So Takuya freaks out, but Yuya's like, actually, that's a lie. I actually can control my powers now. You're just fucking with us. So our parents are actually here. So, and then Kimi's like, well, shit, you're right. Bye. I'm gonna go now. And then they reunite with their parents, and they all embrace in each other's hugs.
Oh.
And there's a sequel. I'm gonna pass.
Damn.
But
spoiler alert: this is a low-ranking anime for Matthew.
Also,
right? We'll find out on Monday.
But this is how it ends, though. The Kirihara brothers actually did meet the Kuroki brothers' parents. They actually did. Because we thought it was just an image implant. Mm-hmm. No, that was true. Because the police took the Kuroki brothers away, saying, "Okay, we're gonna take them now because of the powers." Mm-hmm. And the officer told the cops to kill the parents once we're out of there. So the Kirihara brothers basically saved the parents. So that's why they were there. They actually helped them.
Imagine that.
I know. But yeah, this is my least favorite one for this season. That's your only spoiler word. But
see, I was trying to where is it gonna rank? It's low ranking clearly, and
that's your only low ranking.
So there we go. The most disappointing anime. Spoiler alert for Monday's awards.
Yeah. But the people that listen, they know how I feel.
Yeah.
But the concept is fine. The genre of it is fine. The animation is not a big deal. It's the CGI shit. It's fine. The soundtrack, the musical composition, is probably my favorite in terms of the season. It's just the music is really good. My problem is the fucking characters. That is the issue.
Yeah,
I feel like nothing got done. Aside from the Kirihara brothers, especially Noya, everyone else just fucking sucked.
Yeah, I feel
that's just really it. And I can't enjoy it. I need the characters. You're having my time in a grand total of about 4 hours in these 12 to 13 episodes.
Yeah.
So basically, you gotta make me want to watch you, not just the plot, not just what the premise is, but the actual characters.
Yeah.
All of it matters. And this was a big one that just took a big shit on the desk. Say, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
Good God, I am done with them. Fuck.
Fuck Nighthead. Only we want Dayhead.
Yeah, apparently there was another series of it 15 years ago. I was like, maybe I probably should have watched that to understand it better. But apparently it's different. It's a different take on it. So, no thank you.
I'm very curious to see what analyst has rated this.
Well, on my anime list, it's in the lower 6.
Is it in the lower 6s? Let's look and see on fucking.
And I gave it a 5, so fuck you.
Oh, you do 10. That's right. You do 10. You do 10 point system, right?
Yeah.
I used to do 10-point system, but I feel like I don't know. 10-point system is probably more accurate, but I'm just used to 5 because I don't know because I'm a wrestling fan and I like the Dave Meltzer system. Even though I wish I could do half points and I wish I could.
Well, Meltzer could eat a dick. Fuck him.
You should.
You should fuck off,
bro. You should write that in our fucking in our the wrestling group that I invited you in. You'll get a lot of likes.
Someone could tag him, sure.
You'd get a lot of likes, bro. If you hey, Dave Meltzer.
Fuck him, just because he thinks Omega the Buck's the greatest thing since apple pie. No, and no fucking way. If he did not anoint them as the best, no, half the fans would not give a shit about him. Fuck you.
I mean, they're not.
He hyped them up so much. That's the problem.
They're not the best ever, but I mean, bro, they're in the.
Kenny's good. That's it. He's really good.
No,
when he's not too over the top, an annoying over the top, and can actually work with an actual wrestler, he's fine. Bucks, they don't give a shit because they know they'll get paid.
Nighthead 41 is a 62% according to analyst.
All right, that's fine. If it's in the average, that's fine.
Yeah, I suppose.
Again, there's plenty to like, but the characters just made a big fucking downgrade.
Nah.
All right. Moving on. My life as a villainess, all routes lead to doom. It did pick up finally. I think the whole Keith being kidnapped helped. So that's when they were going to look for him, and they finally found him. They didn't show his sister who kidnapped him. She was gone before that. Keith was basically drowning in dark magic. So Bakurita was trying to go in that circle, trying to hey Keith, wake up, basically. And this certain thing she bought randomly at a marketplace was the thing that helped get rid of the dark magic. Coincidentally, and then out of all that shadow magic, it turned to a little puppy.
Aww.
And the puppy's cute and it's harmless, so that's always good. And it likes Bakurita a lot. But Keith with the fucking balls, when he's snaps out of it, he looks at Bakurita, his adopted sister, and kisses her in front of her fiance, in front of the fiance Gerardo. So I was like, ha.
Incest. Hashtag incest.
I mean, he's just adopted, but yeah.
Anyway. I'm very grateful I don't have like an adopted or like a step or anything like that. Like I'm.
But then you find out you're not adopted. It's like
clap cheeks, motherfucker.
Anyway, there's a graduation party for all the students and the student council, and Bakurita is having a girls' slumber party. And then Gerardo's trying to get alone time with Bakurita. Like, no, ain't happening. Fuck you. Like, getting cock blocked. And since she's so fucking dense of everyone's feelings, she's too fucking stupid. I love her, but she's too fucking like not like the normal harem rom-com MC, but it multiplied a little.
Normal stupidity.
Yeah. Anyway, during the party, Keith's like, can I see you later? Type of thing. Like, oh yeah. I said be careful because what if you're in my room alone right now? The maids are gone. I can do something. Because Bakurita is like, hey, you like my pajamas? Type of thing. And then Keith gets cock blocked by the fiance, the girls, the other guys. Like, what the fuck you doing? And eventually, Bakurita has her slumber party with Mary, Maria, Sophia, all that shit. And then she has a dream. It's her old life, like before she got isekai'd. And she sees her best friend playing the game, like the Fortune Dream game. But it turns out there's a sequel. There's this like Fortune Dream 2. And you see Katarina, like before the reincarnation, like the actual video game character. Like, oh, she's back, she's a villain again. And you see some of the old characters, like I think the only one that goes with her to the Magic Academy is Maria. Which is the one I actually ship with, and not Gerardo. So basically, I don't think the old characters are gonna be there, but they also introduced the newer characters like Cyrus, Dewey, and some other people. And then Bakurita is like, "Oh, this is nothing. It's just a dream." And when they go to the Magic Academy, you find out that's actually legit. Like, hey, these are the people I saw in the dream. Hi, nice to meet you. We're all in the same class. And she freaks out, like, oh god, not again, basically. And after that, we find out the series is going to get a movie.
Hooray!
And this was nice. My major gripe was mostly the first half because there was I feel like it was just filler. It was just like it felt like a whole filler arc. Like yeah, it was nice to see the characters. You see Bakurita being stupid. Everyone trying to make their moves while she's dense. You get a little bit of plot, but the first half it just didn't go anywhere. But after the whole Keith being kidnapped and then the last finale, we probably should have got that a little earlier, but
maybe so.
But it was good enough. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10 because it picked up. If it did, it probably would have been a 6.5, maybe 7. But yeah, first season is still great. I wonder how the movie's gonna go. If there is a third season, I'm definitely looking forward to that. All right, my last one, Sonny Boy.
You're surprised.
It went from being I was probably gonna give it up to being one of my favorites.
How about them apples?
It got that fucking good. And wow. All right, where do I begin? I'm gonna go a little bit the episode before the penultimate because it actually is very important. Basically, for one of the characters, you find out she was hiding her ability because she said, "Oh, my ability is magnets," when it wasn't true. Her real ability is she could read people's thoughts. I believe her name is Hime. But basically, as you find out she has a crush on one of the boys. I believe Asakaze, who's basically being manipulated by this quote unquote teacher, Aki Sensei. And she read the thoughts that Asakaze likes Nozomi, that girl that looks for the light type of thing. He has a crush on her, but Nozomi doesn't like her. And now, basically, the whole time she's feeling like she's useless, like her power's useless because basically God fucked them. God fucked with them. That type of thing. So basically, Aki says, "Hey, bring Nozomi with Asakaze," and then the girl that reads Bar is like, "We're going to this war. Why? We're gonna go find War to kill him." Because remember when I said War is there to kill God. And Aki Sensei doesn't want that.
Mm.
So she believes Asakaze has his power to find war and potentially kill him. And then Nozomi confronted Asakaze, saying like, "This is why I don't like you. Like, this is why I didn't want to go out with you. I don't respect you." And especially the fact that he was being manipulated by Aki Sensei. And while that's going on, the cliff fell beneath her. She falls, and then Asakaze tries to go use his power to like get her up. Did not work. God said, like, you think it's gonna work? He's like, you think your power's gonna work all the time? So he fucked with her. He fucked with him, and Nozomi's dead. And I thought it was okay. Maybe she'll come back. The next episode later, he's really dead. There was people mourning over her, while Mizuho, Nagara, what's his name?
Yuzuho. Yuzuho? You said Mizuho. And I was like, no, Yuzuho.
Yeah, no, Yuzuho.
Yuzuho.
but yeah, you just see him sitting in silence, and then Mizuho is just crying. And of course, my favorite guy comes back. Rajahani came back. And he embraces them in a hug. And he said, I'm actually going to help, like, after his travels. Like, I'm going to help you get out of here, basically. Because Mizuho and Nagara were like, we're going to get out of here. Like, okay, I can actually help you this time. So they get basically this spaceship-looking thing. And Rajahani chooses to stay behind. As in case, sometimes if he wants to help someone else escape, basically. So, like, you know what? Like, the whole world is so fascinating. Like, I want to stay here. But people want to leave, I can help them. So you see Mizuho and Nagara go into the ship. That's where the penultimate ended. And for the finale today, it started weird. Like, Nagara was in school, like normal school. Okay, I guess they got out. Hopefully, eventually they'll show how they got out. But like before that, like, you didn't know. Like, is this another world where everyone's like the alternate selves, basically, or are they out? And then he sees Mizuho like after school sometime, and she asks, "Who are you?" So it's like, are her memories gone? Does she not remember that they were in this other world for like 2 years? Are her powers gone? Like all of that, all of that. And so that left him depressed. And he saw Nozomi in this other world, the girl that died, and she's with this other world, Asakaze, the one she rejected. And then eventually he gets depressed, and then we go back to like where they left off, and it's like there's multiple worlds. Nagara, Mizuho start walking, and you see Asakaze in front of him, like, if you leave, like, this is gonna fuck things up, and like we know, like, we're leaving anyway. And they says basically Rajahani disappeared somewhere, and almost all the other classmates are dead. Like Aki Sensei, Cap, Hayato, like Hime, Hoshi, everyone, they're gone. And it's just him left. So we don't know what happened. Did God get rid of them? Did War do his little tumor disease to kill them? We don't know. So, and then he basically gives them his compass, and he's like, just go, type of thing. And you see God, like, in this gates, like, as they're about to cross, saying, like, you can't leave. Like, well, we're going to anyway. So he's like, you're not going to like it, basically. They try to, like, psych him out. So, and then they eventually cross, and then you see them start running. You see the glowing light as they're like walking, type of thing. It's like this was the light Nozomi was looking for. So like, okay, that's actually pretty cute.
The light at the end of the tunnel, is it?
It's essentially, yeah. So yeah, then now, and then we go back to where they were. Like, now they're back into the school world, and then Mizuho, like, she starts feeling guilty of, like, yeah, like, I actually do remember you. Just basically a lot of shit happened, basically. There's them trying to adjust to that normal life after everything they dealt with in those infinite multiple worlds with all these powers and stuff they can do. And then eventually Nagara talked to Nozomi when they saw an injured bird. Like, hey, can you help take care of it? And he was like, no, because I have an apartment. I can't take pets or anything. But they eventually, like, they were basically talking that whole ordeal. Nozomi goes her own way with Asakaze, and Nagara talks about, like, starting his life over again. Like, this is actually like a new beginning for him. And then it ends. It ends right there.
Happily ever after.
It's more of a bittersweet thing, because again, a lot of people are gone, dead, and I didn't see most of them in this new world. Again, they got out, but at the same time, it's just like Like at what cost type of ordeal?
Yeah.
Or was it worth it? Because again, most of them were happy there because after being trapped there for thousands of years, they were adjusted to it, and they didn't age. Just they can die like normal, like being stabbed or whatever, but they wouldn't die of age. They would stay the same age.
Yeah.
But I love the world building of this. I love the concept of the powers and yeah, a lot of these characters were interesting as it went along. So all that helped the unique animation art style of it. Again, the whole god, the war, what you call it, Nagara, Rajahani, Zoe. A lot of good characters. There was an actual element of mystery to it. Of just trying to get back, or if they're ever going to come back. Like, this is their life now. And yeah, it was a lot of unique stuff. I thought it was creative. It's one of those you have to really pay attention, or you're not going to get it.
Yeah, the way you described it is just like, I appreciate how they're like, it's like, oh, it makes you seem curious about it, but at the same time, like, there's no part of me that really wants to, like, as much as I like a good mystery anime, like, I'd like to be able to, like, understand everything going on, you know what I mean, for what it's worth. And then, like, you have your little tips and, like, like, oh, I feel this way, maybe so, like, oh, I feel that way, oh, maybe so, like, but I'm sorry, not with Sunny. With Sonny Boy, the way you've described it, it's like, okay. And then, like, eventually, as you keep describing it, like, it just gets further and further and further from, like, really, like, understanding it. You know what I mean? Like, unless, like you said, unless you really pay attention and you've been watching it the whole time.
Yeah, like you have to focus.
Yeah, from, like, the outside
looking. Every little bit of each of these worlds and the characters, like, everything they talk about, it's important later. That's basically the grand gist of it. So if you want that type of supernatural mystery, it's definitely worth checking out. But it's one of those, like, you might not have that attention span. This might not be particularly for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I had to say about it. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed this one a lot. 1 week we're gonna take one more break. Actually, no, we're gonna take our next break, and when we come back, we're gonna first do our spring, continue it while ending, and then we're gonna go to our actual finale. Stay tuned. All right, we're back.
Tadaima!
All right, which one we want to go with first? We're gonna finish off spring before we finish summer.
Let's go with Hero.
All right, let's go with Hero. Probably the best arc.
I was thinking we can maybe get more into the discussion, but is this maybe like the second half of My Hero with the My Villain Academia arc? Is that really the best arc in My Hero anime history?
Again, if you were very curious about the villains and the characters, especially Shigaraki,
yeah,
I would say yes, unless you want to count the All for One fight, the first half of season 3.
Yeah.
But I think it's a fantastic arc in the fact that they did this in about 4 episodes or so, 4 to 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So, but damn.
Yeah, it was fucking great shit, guys. It's really fucking spectacular. I'm so curious now we're going into season 6 whenever they announce season 6.
Well, they did announce it.
Did they announce it?
It's official, yeah.
Okay. So, I'm very curious, A, what the villains are going to be like in the movie when it drops. B, how season 6, like, dude, how OP is fucking Shigaraki going to be? Like, dude, like, how fucking OP, like, fuck, dude. Like, that's going to be incredible. Well, and they got to deal with...
Also, apparently, the next arc is going to be the Paranormal Liberation War arc.
Yeah.
I think that's going to involve the villains, too. So.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I think they went to Daika City. Or the Daika City. That's where the season 5 ends, where they have basically all of the heroes and the classes. They're in Daika City.
Right. But I don't think they should redeem Shigaraki at the end of this series in general. I feel like you have to kill him.
Yeah. Yeah,
I feel like it would be more impactful than just saying, basically, I'm sorry, I'm a good guy now, type of thing.
But if Deku's going to be the one to defeat him, he's not going to kill him. Because he hasn't killed anybody he's defeated.
But I feel like that might be his first.
I don't think. I get what you're saying.
But I cannot...
My hero's not that dark.
I know, but I cannot see him living either.
I agree with you. I see what you're saying.
Like, hell, I would love to see him kill All Might.
Oh God, that's gonna be so rough to see.
But it would be so impactful though.
It would be. It would be.
Like
I don't
especially
think my
by
hero.
him,
My hero has
his
never made.
master's grandson.
Yeah, I was gonna say my heroes never made me cry from an actual scene, but I was like, no, I can't say that because I did cry when Night Eye died.
Right?
I did cry when Night Eye died. I can't even
Yeah.
say like that's a scene has never made me cry. I know I cried during Airy. All the Airy shit I cried, and then yeah, fucking when Night Eye died, I felt that one. That was feel.
Yeah,
But yeah,
just his backstory just fucks.
yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, we like I said, or like Matthew said rather, we see Shigaraki's backstory, and it's so dark how he, fucking he was more or less abused by his dad, and his dad was he hated heroes not because of fucking anything they did, but rather the fact that his grandmother, who was All Might Sensei, we find out, basically not abandoned him, but prioritized
Hero work.
hero work instead of being a mom, and it scarred him for life. And basically, Shigaraki, or Shimura, as he was known back then, his love of heroes really just pissed off his quirk and all of that. It pissed off his what's it called, his father. And by the way, there's an interesting tidbit. As we know, or as we saw, Shigaraki's quirk didn't manifest itself until he was experiencing extreme psychological trauma and distress. And a byproduct of his quirk potentially coming out was the itching. Later on, after this arc is done, and it happens in the final episode, I think it happened in the second to final episode, or it might be the final episode.
For what, the arc ended, or
No, so when they go back I think it was the final episode, they went back to the heroes, and someone alerts Sensei about Eri, and Eri said, my horn itches. And I was like, wow. And I put that two and two together. I was like, well, her quirk is already manifested, but like it's gonna reach, like, I guess more maturity, and that's why it's itching. Like, I don't know, like in terms of like the senses of puberty and things of that nature with quirks, and I don't know how they want to explain it, but I put that two and two together, like, oh, she's itching now too. Something's going to manifest from Eri that's going to be critical, I'd imagine.
right.
So, but yeah, like I said, we see the backstory. We see an incredible fight between fucking Redestro and Shigaraki. We see incredible fights all around in general, just to see the villains, have this galvanization in their souls for each other and for the situation. It's incredible seeing Giga Makia shed tears as he saw the fucking destruction that Shigaraki rained down upon this city, cruel and unmercifully and dark and sinister. And Giga Makia fucking blew a load, basically looking at fucking Shigaraki be evil, and basically got him to he swore his loyalty to him in the end. And he basically what's it called, got the paranormal liberation force, or I'm sorry, but that's what they're called now, but what do they call it, some shit, like something liberation force or whatever. I was gonna say Mediterranean, but that's not right.
Paranormal.
No, it's not paranormal. They renamed it paranormal. It was something else. It was like metacausal or something, like metacausal liberation force or something like that. So, basically, and Redestro, by the way, as he's about to die, saves himself by chopping off his legs. So now, Redestro is a double amputee, but he's still got a pretty crazy quirk. I'm very curious to see how they're gonna work that in with him having no legs, and being basically the second in command. We see all the generals, and the majority of the generals are from the League of Villains. However, they have the one ice person who's now a general, as well, under Shigaraki. But yeah, all in all, it's a very, very very powerful and extremely action-packed arc that closed out the season. We also see like it closes out at the end of the day with the villains. I'm sorry, not the villains, with the heroes, and that's fun. But honest, I feel that way for like a lot of people have said, like, dude, like the villains just have like so much more like cool factor, so much more backstory now that we like can relate to, or sympathize for. Like it's completely switched. Like, what I mean? Like when it got back to the heroes, like it was cool, but then I was like, oh man, especially for this type of show, like this shonen show, they really act more like kids than other shows. And you can really see that, especially after seeing the villain arc and then going back to the kids. I really feel that you can see like the childishness that they're still going, which is fine. Obviously they're 15 years old, I think. You know what I mean? But
yeah, like 15, 16.
yeah, still, it was great. It was fucking great.
Actually, I forgot. I forgot a series that I was watching without you.
You forgot a series? Oh, which one was that?
Vanitas.
Oh my god, that was one of your favorites.
Yeah, actually, can I talk about that real quick before Tokyo Adventures?
All right, bonus content, everyone.
Alrighty. Very good shit. Let me just tell you right there. Great shit. Anyway, after the whole thing with the doctor, Jenna meets up with Vanitas. They calls him over like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you on a date to like learn to love you." But you find out Jenna's real plan is basically she talked to Dominique about how can I get Vanitas to go away from me, like stop loving me. Like, oh well, no, told me that he can't love someone back. So I was like, okay, so I have to have him like love me, and then I love him basically, and he will go away. He's like, yeah, okay. So they do all this, and they actually go on an actual date. And Vanitas is just adorable with it. And I feel, but you feel like he's catching on. And while that's happening, No meets up with Lord Ruthven or August, the guy that basically wanted to kill Vanitas for basically disrespecting the queen. So he takes No to this cafe like privately, like this is gonna be just us talking basically. So and then he asks questions about Vanitas a bit, and then his teacher, the shapeless one, and what's going on. Vanitas and Jenna are on that date, and Dominique and Dante are watching from afar, like I gave her my clothes. I'm watching this. She asked for my advice. I'm going to see this through for them. And you just see Jenna having a good time. Like she's actually happy. She's getting like, flustered. And then Vanitas like, "I'll be right back," type of thing. And then she's like talking to herself like, "Why isn't this working? Why is my heart palpitating like this? Why am I liking it?" And then Vanitas went behind her like, "I fancy you too," like hot surprise type of thing. So she freaked out a bit and she bumped into the kid. And there was blood, and since Jenna is basically accursed with like a bloodlust, she was about to like lose control and bite the kid. But Vanitas put his arm in front of her so she could bite him. It's like pretend, and like a smoke screen's like pretending like he's like basically told the kids you didn't see anything. And so they get to like a private area. And then Jenna told Vanitas like, "I promise you, like I haven't sucked anyone's blood but yours." And it was a hot scene for the whole bloodsucking thing. Like, I know it's steamy, but the Vanitas asked Jenna like, "Are you cursed? Like, are you a cursed being?" And she still doesn't answer. And she said, and she asked him like you'll help me if I go out of control, right? And then Vanitas just looked at her like out of the fact I love you. If you go out of control and you are a cursed being, I'll kill you myself. Like I'll liberate you basically. And while that's going on, Ruthven talks to No. It's like, "So No, one more question. What side are you on in terms of vampires and humans?" And he's like, he doesn't know type of thing. He's like, he's just more like they can coexist. And then he was like, "You failed." And the drink No was having was poison. And Ruthven bites him to get his blood basically. But what he did is he's a little technique of like a slave collar type thing. So basically, he only follows one command once, no matter what it is. Like swear like loyalty for this one thing. Whenever he asks for it, just as again, it's just the one favor, and basically it's gone type of thing. So when the time comes, you're going to listen to it no matter what. And slowly No gave in and it's like, okay, the type of thing. Like under his control type of thing. And then he passed out. Why didn't you kill him? I was like, no, I have use for him. And you see Vanitas walking Jen to get her stuff. So, and they actually asked her, like, why were you here? Like, why weren't you with your master Lucius? Like, Ruthven told me to take the day off. And then Vanitas freaked out. Like, you see his eyes going wide because Ruthven alone with No. So he was trying to get that 2 and 2 together. He rushed out, I screaming for No, like, where is he type of thing. And then you see No passed out on the bed. Like, what is it? What do you want? And he thought he slept the whole day. Like, that memory of that conversation with this guy is gone. So, like, that happened. And then Dante got into the room, and they told Vanitas about this cursed werewolf. That's like this legendary cursed werewolf that's running around. So Vanitas is getting intrigued about it, and while No is just sitting there, he's like, he has this sudden craving to want to suck Vanitas' blood.
I want to suck your blood.
like he wants to like pin him down and bite him basically, and like he's trying to control that urge, and then Vanitas is like, "Are you distracted? Like what's up?"
Mm-hmm.
And Noah's like, "Forgive me." And it's like, I really wanted to suck your blood, like the scent of it and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see Vanitas get serious,
Mm-hmm.
like this death glare,
Mm-hmm.
because like basically like when Noah sucks blood, he can get access to people's memories.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, if you do that to me, I will kill you. Like he was like legit serious, like I will kill you on the spot if you even attempt it.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I had to shut Noah down. Like, okay, all right, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He just stayed quiet. It got awkward. And of course, we go to my favorite guy, my favorite paladin, Roland,
Mm-hmm.
who was happy about vampires and humans coexisting. And then his general comes in. Like, why are you doing research on this? He's like, I'm just doing research here. What's the issue? And then he's like, don't do this. Like, you know what's at stake. You're going to betray God. The paladin is going to kill your family type of thing if you keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Question, how many of you can I kill at once?
Yeah.
Like, he threatened his commander. He's like, well, if I fight you too, it's going to be a little challenge, but you see where I'm getting at, right? Like, I'm not stopping this.
You're gonna die.
Like, yeah, so I'm going to keep looking this up, and if you try to threaten me again or my family, I will fight you. And we both know you're going to lose. And he's just like, okay, I'll help you. And then we see Noah Vanitas walk in, and Vanitas looked at him like he's having like Noah has this like depressed, awkward look on his face, like he feels guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vanitas like, all right, I'll tell you what, if somehow blood is dripping on my clothes or something, or like I'm bleeding out, I'll let you clean that up. And then Noah's got to sound like, really? He's like, nope, just kidding. So yeah, and they got on the train. They're going to they're going to travel to this other city where this cursed werewolf type thing is. And then Noah's like, "How do I know you'll be here when I wake up?" It's like, just go to bed. Like I'll be here when you wake up, basically.
Oh.
And then there's an after credit with the charlatan meeting this white haired girl like in the snow, and you don't know who she is. Apparently, it's like this vampire, the Blue Moon. Maybe actually no, not her. I'm thinking of a different person, but it's basically there's no name. Just it's like, oh, the fun begins basically, and then it's like, okay, part 2 in January. So great way to end it there. All right, let's continue to where we were going.
Back to our schedule.
Back to spring. We're going back to spring. We're gonna close it off finally with Tokyo Revengers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Basically, we left off with Kisaki back in jail, right? No, not Kisaki. Kazutora.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, how Mikey forgives and all that.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, and then what do you call it? What's the guy? Chifuyu? Was that his name?
Which one?
The guy with the one eye now. The guy, Baji's friend.
With one eye?
Chifuyu. The one that.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, like come with me to class. And he's
Yeah,
like, why? To Takemichi. He's like, I'm gonna make you a jacket.
Yeah.
Like an actual Toman jacket, like the higher up type of jacket.
No, an official member. It's an official member.
Yeah. Okay, it's official member. Okay. So he makes them that as a thank you for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to the Toman meeting with everyone. Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead. You see Emma with Mikey.
Oh God, it was funny, but it was like, I don't know.
But it's just still be brought up.
I guess.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it'll come into play later. But is he Hinata out of nowhere like, hey, what's Emma doing with Mikey? Like while surprising Takemichi.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we can't tell Draken. Like they're basically wrapping armor around each other, going out to this place, and you see Draken like, oh hell no.
Mm-hmm.
And they find out Mikey's like that's his sister, and Mikey took her out for her birthday.
Aww.
So and then the Draken's like, oh yeah, here's your gift, and he looks at Takemichi like, the fuck do you think was going on? That was how that ended. Hinata went back to being dead somewhere, and
even though Draken's giving him chimpo.
Yeah. Anyway, now we go to the Toman meeting, and then we see Shifuyu, Mikey, and Hanma up on the stands, and you find out Valhalla and Toman are now aligned,
which is what they wanted to avoid. It still happened anyway.
Yeah. Well, it was also because of like it was made for him after he killed Kazutora, but since Kazutora's alive, it means whole ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Takemichi's freaking out, and it's like, oh god, this just happened. This shouldn't have happened. And then, surprise out of nowhere, Chifuyu went up saying, okay, I nominate Takemichi as our first division captain.
And he starts crying.
Yeah, again.
God, yeah, no, again.
I hate his crying.
No, I mean, it gets to be a bit much.
No, it's the fact that
it really does.
He goes to this goal, he cries about it. It's like, oh wait, I have that goal still. It's like, motherfucker, how the fuck did you forget after months that was what you're going to do?
Yeah.
And you don't do it, and then you cry. You don't figure it out till you cry again.
So stupid.
Ah, God, fuck Takemichi.
Yeah, man, but man, God.
All right, let's get to that real.
It gets better.
All right, he goes back to the present. He's in the video store, but you find out he's not an employee there this time. He was basically being dropped off, like as the boss. Like, what happened? Oh, he just wanted to rent a movie again. Naoto's phone number was not in there. Like, there's no contact whatsoever.
Nope.
So it was like, okay, we're going out to this restaurant with the rest of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you see one of the Kawada brothers. You see Panchan, I think. What was his name?
Pachin.
Pachin, yes. And then you see Takemichi's old friends, like, grown up.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of them. Even Sendo? Was that the one that died?
You know, I don't think I saw Akun there. Akun wasn't there.
Oh, no. Then not Akun.
Then there was no Akun. And fucking, but all his other friends were there.
Yeah.
All the cool kids.
Yeah, but also, they see the old gen and the new gen of Toman. They're all arguing. And then you see, like, oh yeah, Mikey will be here eventually. Like, he's going to be late, type of thing. And then you see Kisaki. And he's like, we have this meeting here because there's a traitor.
Yeah.
And then he's like, hey, Chifuyu, Takemichi, come with me. And this is where it gets really fucking good.
It gets so fucking real. So basically, so they have a drink together. And basically,
well, first he talks about Baji, like,
yeah,
like that was my plan. Like, he told, like, hey, this is that was my actual plan. And I feel bad about it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you almost believe like he was legit sorry.
Almost.
Yeah, we'll get to that. They get the drink, they share the drink, and Kisaki's like, man, I haven't had this much fun in a while. We're actually just drinking and talking. Oh, by the way, what I said about me feeling bad about Baji, I lied. That he drugged the drinks.
And they black out.
And they're tied up to a chair. And he talked about how he climbed the ranks, how Draken's dead.
And Mikey's missing.
Still. Like, he's still nowhere to be seen in these.
No, he's dead. No, Draken was executed.
Yeah. But I'm saying, with Mikey, like, Mikey is still nowhere to be found no matter what the future is.
Yeah, Mikey's missing in action. Draken has been executed by someone or something that we don't know. More than likely fucking Kisaki.
By Kisaki.
Yeah.
And then he shoots Takemichi in the leg. And he starts being
crying.
Yeah. Well, that's a reasonable cry, though. That's justified. And he beats the shit out of Chifuyu. He starts pistol whipping him. And he's like, hey, any last words? And he looks at Takemichi saying, I'm leaving it up to you. And boom, got shot in the head.
And fucking dude's.
And then he goes to Takemichi, like, I'm going to shoot you now, basically. And then he's like, goodbye. And his last words were, my hero. And you hear the gunshot.
Yeah. And it blacks out. And that's the end of the season.
We got blue ball. We got blue ball here.
Cliffhanger, bro. I loved it.
But that's the thing. I loved Kisaki until you find out his motives in the manga.
So yeah, you know more ahead of time. I mean, I never loved Kisaki. Why the fuck would I like?
No, like he's such an interesting villain.
Oh no, man.
Like I like his stuff, and then you find out his real motive. It's like, dude, he's a bitch.
He's always been a bitch, bro.
But like, he's a fucking simp. Kisaki's a fucking simp.
He's a simp. All right, don't tell me anymore.
All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Fuck you. That should have not been the thing.
Yeah.
Like you should have kept the mystery of why he was doing it, how he manipulated people, how he can kill people anytime he wants, that type of thing. They should have kept that as a mystery. Good guy. I like his fashion sense, though. I will say that. I like his suit.
Yes, bro. All him and fucking what's his face? Hanma. Fucking smooth.
All
fucking
right.
Smooth, bro.
But yeah, there's no official word on when season 2 is going to happen.
Season 2, especially with how.
There's definitely going to be with this. Probably a year from now.
Yeah, I hope so.
But definitely a great way to end it for the spring. It's still up there on my top of the year. If I was grading it for the summer season, I would, but again, it's still spring because it still kept going.
No, I mean I graded it summer, and we'll get into.
I know. People do. People don't.
Yeah, we'll get into it more on Monday because
Yeah.
it seems like we'll have the differing opinions on it. Because I don't think I graded it on. I don't think I graded it during summer because I knew it was continuing, or spring because I knew it was continuing. So
exactly, that's what I did.
Yeah, it was. We basically.
Flipped. So that's why it was a little harder to do my top 10 because the 3 of them that were good were continuations. It's like, and they were either, and the other ones that we had were either mediocre or really good. But
yeah.
I digress. Well,
we'll get into it Monday.
All right. Spring's over finally. Thank God. Shall we finish
2021 is over. Yes, let's finish summer. And let's start off with fucking, if I can get my list back up because I didn't have it out. Let's start off with Keki Shoujo.
All right, let's go into this.
Let's go into Keki Shoujo. It was a nice ending. I can't lie. It made me feel good at the end, and I'm very curious to see if they have a season 2. They set it up. We'll see.
I hope so. I was more into this than you because again, like this shoujo type genre isn't your fully cup of tea, except for like Fruits Baskets.
It's just, I like shoujo anime. It's just in this instance, there were plenty of instances where I just felt like I was watching catty bitches, and I was just like, I fucking hate anything like catty bitches. But hold on, I did say if we start off with Keki Shoujo, I was gonna rant a little bit. So let me rant. Before we get into the
all right, I'll let you rant about her, which is totally fair.
Oh my god, yo, this fucking Hijiri, I hate this character more than I've hated a character in such a long time, dude. Like I fucking despise this cunt. Like, bro, I wish Truck-kun would fucking take her and not isekai her ass. Just fucking hit her and just be done with it. Fucking hate this bitch. I hate this bitch, bro. Like, I hope, I hope in her life she must have the most fucking atrocious periods ever, where she's like curled up, throwing up. Like, you deserve all the fucking misery. You deserve all of it. I hope you're bleeding so heavy that you fucking stay in bed because you're lightheaded. I fucking hate that bitch. I hate that bitch, bro. Like, all the other girls, even the girls that are mean or serious, they're that way because of the love of the craft, because this is their dream. They don't want to let it go. Hijiri's like that too, but she's just so unnecessarily cunty. So like,
plus we don't know how good she is either.
She's a mean girl. I don't give a fuck how good she is. She could be fucking the equivalent of Shakira singing and dancing and freaking Jennifer Aniston on Friends acting. I don't give a fuck how good she is. She's a bitch. She is a bitch, dude. She is unnecessarily cunty to these girls. And oh my god, bro. Every time like I see this bitch, like, yo, I just hope some bad shit happens. Like, if she walks under the sign of fucking of Kyoka, I hope that sign falls on that bitch. I hope the sign falls on that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, bro. I hate that bitch. I fucking hate that bitch, bro. Hate that bitch.
You're good?
Matt. Hey, Matt.
What?
I hate that bitch.
I know you do. But we gotta move on. But
I wish somebody would fucking kick her in the cunt.
All right.
Kick. Boom.
The Talk to Keki Part 2 finale is keep it right by Hijiri being a cunt for an hour and a half.
Bro, if we Talk to Keki merch, Hijiri's
no, it's gonna be you. It's gonna be a picture of you kicking her in the cunt.
With our little fucking our little character.
Our avatars, yes.
Our avatar. I would love that.
We'll see. Anyway, these last few episodes is basically Ando Sensei saying there's good.
It's funny. I could just see. I was.
Stop it.
No, I was gonna say I see Sarasa in the background of the picture. She's like, "Oh my god!" And you see just a straight face, fucking what's her face? You see a straight faced eye, and you see a fucking like, "Oh my god!"
No, I has to give the thumbs up while it's happening with the straight face.
Ooh. And you see the fucking you see the twins surprised, and you see fucking the Incho, the class rep, just looking over like, like just in disgust. Like,
yes, and while Yamada sings a song on her, plays the background music of
serenade me with the cunt kick. Oh man! All right, I'm sorry.
You done now? Out of your system. Till next time.
Until the next time you bring it up.
Okay.
Ando Sensei. I love Ando Sensei. My favorite is the gay sensei. I don't know his name. The music teacher. He's my favorite.
I forgot his name. But
he's my favorite.
Anyway, Ando tells the girls like, hey, the year 2 people are gonna have a little festival, but this time year 1s are gonna be able to do a small sing of Romeo and Juliet.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking for parts. So Romeo, Juliet, Tybalt, and Juliet's nurse.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, these last 3 episodes is auditions.
Mm-hmm.
Like we get to see some of their progression.
And they're good.
They're damn good.
Really?
I was first because let's see, I was she wanted Juliet, Sarasa, and what's that class rep's name? Sawa. They both wanted Tybalt.
Yeah.
While the other Sawada sisters wanted Juliet, obviously. Yamada got Juliet. Was Karu she wanted Romeo, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I forgot what Riso had, so who the fuck cares? I think she was one of the year 2 classes. I think that's why I didn't care. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all trying to figure out how to actually act. I definitely need to learn how to act because basically, yeah, she was basically an idol, but not acting.
She was just there.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And then Sarasa needed to figure out her personality or how she wants to approach it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Ai's performance first. This was really good.
It was so good, dude. Like I felt so happy for Ai. Like I just
like she found her voice. Like she's like
yes, Ai and especially Yamada. Those two fucking.
I'll get to Yamada in a minute.
Oh yes, bitch. Yes, that's what I was saying.
Like, I'll get to her in a bit. But again, like she got all this for because of how Sarasa helped her during all of this. So that's like her appreciation type of thing. And then she just starts freaking out after, like, I can't believe I did that type of things.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, my mic fucking, not my mic, my fucking headset went out.
Yeah, you're good. You're all good. And then we get Yamada's performance. She starts freaking out because the fact that she's the bottom class.
The bottom.
Yes. And then you see the music teacher's like, I might be a little biased, but he helped her. Like, I want to root for her. And then we get a flashback of Yamada.
I felt for her. I felt for her so much.
I'm going to get to that if you notice. But her family's a bakery, and then she has a crush on the guys. But she kind of likes her for the bakery. Basically, you find out later on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see her looking at her friend who's dating people, and then
she's a whore. Her friend's a whore and stupid.
More or less, but basically doesn't know how to stay emotionally attached.
She's definitely not.
Let me finish. Let me finish. I'm getting to it.
Getting to it. Did you miss us, motherfuckers?
Will you? I'm gonna pull Gorilla Basu. Will you stop? Will you stop?
Damn it, Gorilla.
Anyway, she sees the guy that she has a crush on, a little upset that she got rejected. So he's like, okay, maybe this is my time to move in. And then he says, no, basically, I want you as a friend.
No, she didn't even really go into it. She's like...
Oh, she wants to see if there was a chance. And then it's okay,
she thought there was a chance,
if he asked me out, and then he asked me out, I would say yes.
Yeah, and then he's like, Yamada-san. And she's like, hi. She's like, and he's like, I wish if it was possible. And she's like, her heart's fluttering. She's expecting it.
Will you be my best friend?
Will we be friends forever? Ding! Oh, my heart broke.
But... after that, though, her friend pulls Yamada to the school roof.
Yeah.
And it talks about, open up type of thing. And then Yamada's like, no one ever calls me cute type of thing.
Yeah.
And then this girl's like, I think you're cute, that type of thing.
And she's like,
I would love to go out with you.
No, bro, you have to tell a little bit more. She's like, you're my only friend.
Yeah.
And, you're such an amazing person. Like, if I was a guy, I'd totally date you. And then she's like, I would date you if you asked me right now.
And then Yamada's like, yeah, right, type of thing. Like, what are you talking about?
But she confesses.
What?
She confesses.
I know. And then you see the friend, of course, silly me. You see her laugh, and then you see her cry.
Yeah, dude. And it took me later to figure that out. Oh my God. Like
she was actually legit serious.
Yeah.
And she had to play it off like that.
Was...
oh yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, totally kidding. Even though she wasn't. And then Yamada, during her performance, she oh shit, she actually liked me.
Yeah.
And
but does Yamada like girls?
We don't know. but I feel like with how she performed,
we know Karu
while thinking about her.
Yeah, we know Karu likes guys. Sarasa likes guys. And we'll get into
I
Sarasa.
just hates men, but
I hates men. I think I would be.
I feel like she kind of is, but at the same time, just more of does not.
But
like
she seems like asexual. She just seems asexual. Like, you know.
After her trauma, yeah, I wouldn't blame her.
Yeah. For sure. The twins, I think they like dick.
I think it's just Yamada.
Might be Yama. Yeah, questionable.
Yeah, but anyway, she starts pouring her heart out as performance.
It was fucking amazing.
And then you get Sawa's performance as Tybalt's right after.
Striking.
Jesus Christ! So she got that. You got that rage, pity.
Wait, hold on. I want to back up in terms of Sawa, because there was a moment, and they flash back to before Yamada, still timid, apologizes to Sawa. She goes, "In case we're in the group, I want to apologize in case I mess up, because I don't want to mess you up." And we're presenting groups, and she's like, I've never had a guy confess to me that she liked me. This is before she realized that her friend that was a girl confessed to her.
Yeah. So she's like, I never killed anyone.
And then, yes, I was like, I've never killed anybody. She's like, so Yamada's like, well, I would hope not. She's like, yeah, but, you've never been in a relationship. I've never killed anybody. So we both are inexperienced in our roles. We just got to make do. And you got to just, try and like find what you need to find in order to try and understand the role as best as you can. And she moves on. And that's how Yamada starts thinking about her friend, yeah. And meanwhile, Sawa, like I said, striking, just fucking hard.
Again, you felt the rage, you felt the expression, especially when she like looked at Sarasa, because Saracha, Sriracha. But again, it's just that you felt all of it, like that sharp stare, that cold, her voice, and then you see Yamada pause. And then the music, she was like, oh shit, she figured out lines. And she made that pause intentionally in dramatic effect to actually sing. And it worked. And it's like, again, beautiful singing voice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you want to talk about the flashback with the Shirakawa and the
Shirakawa,
where Sarasa was trying to go with the boy she likes?
Oh, Akiya.
Yes.
Shirakawa.
Yeah. Well, that's their last name.
Akiya, yeah.
Kozo Aboru is the other guy that talks to him.
I'm just used to knowing him as Akiya. Yeah, we should talk about it because it is very critical, because
it helps in her performance.
Yeah, and so it helps with her performance, but I want to make a point how the anime did a good job of. And it's something that's very, like, you have to pick up on it if you are used to relationship types of like scenes in animes. Whenever you see an anime and you see a budding relationship or you see a new relationship, it's very flirty, very happy, very bubbly, bright. And we noticed, and Matthew and I did comment on this. I forget what episode it was. It was the summer vacation episode. Sarasa and her boyfriend shook hands when she left, and it was very off-putting. It was like, dude, like, she's your girl, like, girl, that's your dude, like, that's your boyfriend. You should like be like more affectionate, more kind, more intimate. And we're not suggesting anything sexual in any way. It's just
like a hug and a kiss.
A hug and a kiss, or something like that, some emotion. And it was just like,
then you find out
thank you,
why.
And then now in the was it the finale? Yeah, the finale. We come to understand why. And
also the penultimate talks about it.
Yeah. The penultimate is basically what goes into it. And so basically, Sarasa, she starts before her performance. She's the only person that hasn't gone yet out of this core group. Everyone went in the morning, they take lunch, and everyone's like, oh, we're so relieved. Like,
also we find out Ando Sensei is going to be Romeo for this.
No, you don't find out until after we'll get to that. We'll get to it. So they're like, no, Sarasa hasn't gone. Like, where's Sarasa? Is she in the bathroom? Is she okay? And she's out on the bench, normally where Kyoka, fucking where she was at. Karu, my bad. There we go. That third time was a charm. Karu. Normally where Karu is, Sarasa was there, and she started flipping through pictures of her boyfriend, thinking about the past. And we see basically she has like a whole like party for when she got into Kyoka, and Akiya wasn't there. And so Akiya promised to take her on a date. Like, let's go to the aquarium. Like, okay. And you could tell Sarasa really actually likes him. I don't know whether it's like a best friend or whether it's a more than friend. Like there's got to be a little bit more than friends in there. Because the way she was saying, like, I'm so excited, I can't like sit still. I have hours to go and I can't wait to see him. I'm so excited to see him. That definitely sounds like, more than just best friends. So she's like, I know, just gonna go to his house. Bye. And she like, grandfather's like, okay, be home before 7. Okay. So she goes to his house and she noticed he's standing outside. And so, shy girl, she hides behind a telephone pole and she sees Akia's brother walk out and they start walking together. At the same time, she receives a message from Akia saying, hey, I'm gonna need another hour before we meet up. And so Sarasa, being, the quirky girl she is, decides to tail them. And Akia and her brother have like a real heart to heart about.
I think that's the uncle.
Is it uncle?
Kozaburo, I think he's older.
Yeah, I know he's older. I thought it was like an older brother.
I thought it was an uncle.
Either way, it's an older, sort of older father. Relative, yeah. So they have a heart to heart in front of the Thames. Not the Thames is fucking in Germany. My bad. In front of the large thing where they did like all the rowing and boating stuff in the Olympics, basically the large river in Tokyo. They have a conversation and it's an interesting heart to heart, saying how like you guys are best friends, but at the same time I don't want you guys to lose track of one another, and you should I think you guys should be together. You should be his boyfriend, or sorry, her boyfriend. And she's like, oh, I can't do that. Aki's like, no, I can't do that. And she's like, and his uncle, brother, whatever, was like, no, be real. You have a crush on her. Don't lie. Like everybody knows, but you should just do it. Da 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 da. And so it shocks him, but it leaves him thinking. At the same time, as they start walking away, we see Sarsa behind a bush or something like that. And
he also kind of frightened because of his kabuki position.
I don't know if it has anything to do with that. I think
but he brought it. I think he brought it up. That's why.
Yeah, and basically, and it's a very conversation like, oh, don't think that you're like you're the chosen one. All it takes is somebody better than you to replace you. And even though like I have your back and I'll like do what I can to convince like the current like Kaio, to convince the current Kaio to give you the next slot, it's not guaranteed. So if you're thinking about Kabuki, you should like think about Sarasa instead, because that's more definitive at the end of the day. I think like basically that's what he said. And it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But leaves Sarasa questioning everything. And so Sarasa goes to the aquarium on her own. They meet up. And Akia is like, and he begins to try and confess. And he's like, no, never mind. Hey, do you want to see some of the fish? And then Sarasa decides to, be upfront and is like, hey, I'm not a little girl anymore. I'm not technically an adult, but I'm not a little girl. And, I'm going to be away. And I just want you to like do me a favor and visit my grandfather from time to time, so he's not alone, because he's had me his whole life. Like, okay, no problem. And then she goes, and I want you to be my boyfriend. And it was very like, what? But, and it was very cute. I was like, oh, when I first saw it. But then when you really think about it, the way that came about, it wasn't natural, because Sarasa heard a conversation she wasn't supposed to hear. And I'm very curious to know if they make a season 2, how they address that, because I think they're gonna, I think there's gonna be some sort of event that triggers like not a falling out, but like a real like come to Jesus moment between the couple to find out like, yo, is this for real? Like, what are we really doing? Like, wow,
or she's just doing it just so he could focus on his kabuki role. Like on paper they're together, but
yeah, my headset went out again, so I wore out the batteries on these ones. But yeah, dude, no, I agree, dude. At the end of the day, like I don't know, it's very jarring to me, but it's a very, I guess it's a real like situation that happens with people where, like you come together under less than ideal circumstances and you try to like, try to make it work, and it's something about it just doesn't click. And so that's basically where we're at with Sarasa. But regardless, as we lead into this, she basically uses this as motivation to try and like help her out as she goes along into her performance. As Matthew already spoiled, she gets called up in the first performance, and they read off the names and like, okay, hi, they're all there. And then Ando's like, and Romeo will be me. And everyone's like, oh.
Well, yeah, because no one else wanted to be Romeo. Like that was it. Like they were short on Romeo.
They're short on Romeo. So she's like, yeah, Romeo will be me. And everyone is just and then everyone's like, oh my god, everyone's freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, freaking
and his performance.
Freaking the fuck out. And as soon as the very first words, because Romeo starts off, the very first words, eye-opening. It was fucking stellar. Caught everyone. Was just like, oh my god. It was
he's loud, but not actually raising his voice. Like he's
command.
Total commands that attention of the audience.
Yes, total command. It was absolutely incredible.
And because of this, everyone freaked out. Like shit. Like because one of the girls was trying to match his loud voice. Like, but he never raised his voice.
Yeah.
He was booming.
No, she was just off put. She's like, I don't know. She's like, she like freaked out, and then she's like, she
was trying to be loud to try and match him, but like that's not how it worked.
I don't think it was to match, dude. I think
that's it. That was one of the teachers said that was watching.
One of the teachers might have said that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said. Like he's trying to match him, even though he never raised his voice. So
yeah,
I don't know where she's getting this from. Basically, that's what they said.
Yeah.
And then it got to Watanabe.
Yeah.
And she had this elegant performance, like quite the exact opposite of the other ones for Tybalt.
Yeah, and it was, and we find out later. Well, I'll get to that. But we'll
get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But in any case, yes, it was very, very completely different from her first performance as Tybalt. It was splendid. It was natural. It felt authentic. And she really gathered herself, and she displayed a lot of acting skills that they never really went over or anything like that. It was just, like it was natural. It was
she learned all this from her grandfather. Like,
yes,
just watch this, just hearing him talk and like randomly saying lines from watching TV.
Yes, exactly, dude.
And then we get the praise and like, okay, auditions are up, like the cast is up.
Yep.
And then before Watanabe can go see hers, Ichiri's like, hey, you're gonna clean up.
Fucking Ichiri.
And she's like, by the way,
I hate that bitch. I fucking hate that bitch.
And she's like, by the way, did you just hear the cast list yet?
Oh my god, I hate that bitch.
I was like, wow. But I feel like she got bullied in her first year. I think that's why she's like this.
Bro, no, that's some deep rooted shit, dude. Like that's got.
But I think that's kind of there's a cause for that. I'm not defending it, but I think that's what happened. But with Ando Sensei, now you see the girls crying, and it's like, why did I get the part?
Yeah,
like the Sawada sisters. But you see Ai crying by herself and
with her uncle.
Haru, I think.
Yeah, her uncle.
No, sorry, Taichi. And he's like, Yamada, like Juliet is this soft, gentle person. That's what Yamada did.
Yeah.
You're not. It's like,
yeah, basically he said that your performance was great. It was masterful. It was just too mature.
Yeah.
It is very telling.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, now she's waiting for Watanabe, and you see Sawa going to the office, but not for what? Until you see Watanabe look at Liz and say she got the part as Tybalt.
Yeah.
And then Sawa went to
and I was like, I was waiting for it.
Yeah. And with Sawa, she asked her, like, what did I do wrong? And he said, honestly, nothing. You guys were basically tied.
Yeah.
And you're two different people, and you were both excellent. It came down to this one person.
Yeah.
And then she asked her later on, like, why? It says, well, if I'm going to buy a ticket, I want someone like her.
Yep.
It's, again, despite, no matter how good you are, it's about who sells.
Yep.
And people are going to want to pay more attention and buy a ticket for someone like that than how she was.
Yeah. The fangirl status, which is very interesting.
They legit sell, especially for this all-girls play.
Yeah.
Because it's for women.
Yeah, which is it's so wild. Like when you think about it, like a play of like of mostly women, 80 to 20. I think is it 80 to 20 the actors or 80 to 20 the fans?
For what?
That are women.
The cast is all women.
The cast is all women, and the fans are 80 to 20. And it's like, oh, who's gonna fangirl over you? Is basically
that's what gets their attention. That's what, because again, they sell out every show.
Yeah.
And that's where she got that really like shit. Like even with I know it says like, yeah, no matter how much of a hard work you are, like you're not always going to get it.
Yeah, basically.
And like,
it was very crushing to Sawa, but Sawa was very, very mature. And she held it together until she spoke with her senpai, who was basically graduating, and they had a heart to heart about the frustrations of being perfect. It was a very, very, very good conversation, because it's a real conversation. There are true frustrations with being perfect. There's true frustrations with expectations and meeting those expectations, and just not being able to reach your potential, not because of anything you've done or any of your failures, not because you failed as a person or as an actress or a woman or a friend or anything, but just simply there's a phenom. There's someone that God is willing to that position, and he's not willing you. And that's a very raw and a very frustrating emotion, but it's a very real emotion. And a lot of humans can react and understand that that is, something that happens for a job, whether it's someone that you, sorry, my mic just got disconnected a little bit. Fuck, let me go back to it really quick. All right, I'm back to normal. All right, anyway, whether it's not missing out on a promotion for a job because someone was just there for longer, or or whether it's not getting the person that you want because you just didn't confess like in enough time or something like that. Like, there's just stuff with that you did nothing wrong. It's just a product of the reality of the life that you're in at the present second. And that was really what was like told to Sawa. And eventually Sawa cries, and what's it called? Her senpai's like, save your tears for when you graduate. Don't cry now.
Yeah.
That was very telling as well. And it ended on a very high note with them, for sure.
Yeah, and then you see Sawa actually go to Watanabe, like, congratulate, like, be the bigger person, like yeah, you got it, congrats, type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I learned a lot, but still, like, you've earned it.
Yeah.
And some of the girls were mocking Yamada for getting Juliet's.
Oh,
one of them was like, no, she earned that. You guys shut up, basically.
Yeah, Karu was very supportive, and she was upset, and she should be upset because it's a heartbreaking thing to not be chosen, but she stood up as a fearless classmate, as a friend, as
I cared about her, yeah.
Yeah, she cared about her. She was what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Integrity. She was very integritous with her speech to Yamada, and they cried together for each other as thank yous, as I'm sorries. They had a moment with each other, and they were very contentious, because one thing that we didn't mention is at the beginning of, like, before the things happened, all the girls are in the bath, and there was a lot of tension between the girls because of the fact that Yamada's very timid, and Karu and Sara were very fucking like fierce and aggressive and fiery, and Sawasa was trying to put up her cool front, but Sawasa was also very frustrated with trying to get the position, and I was going through her things. Each girl was going through their own specific issues in terms of how to cope with the circumstance that they found themselves in, and the pressure of wanting to succeed and wanting to grow and wanting to support. It was very, very it was a very good baseline, a very good foundation to why all of these performances mattered, why all these performances made you feel emotion. And it was a very good end, I felt, to this series, and I hope there is a season 2. It's not something that I would go out and watch on my own. I literally only did it because you recommended it, but it was very solid as a whole.
Yeah. Again, I feel like there should be a season 2 with how it ended. Like, you see the people that got the part talking to the class 2 people, and it ended with basically, okay, here's an auditions for the next set of class. So it's like, as they're gonna go to their year 2, here comes the next class. So I feel like there's going to be. Again, I like this a lot more than you did.
Yeah. I would say
I can understand some gripes that you've had.
Your dislike for Nighthead, I did not feel this for Kageki at all. Like, I liked Kageki. It just, it's not my favorite. It's not gonna rank.
But if someone liked this type of anime, would you recommend it to them?
If anyone, I mean, I have limited exposure in this anime because the only exposures that I have to shoujo are Fruits Baskets and this.
I would say, like, people that like class, theater.
Yeah, I
acted. Yeah,
one of the reasons why I decided to do it was not only because of your recommendation, but as a low-key thing. I enjoy theater. My cousins did theater. I have an appreciation for theater. I love going to see theater when I go to New York. I love going to Broadway. I love seeing little things when I'm in Florida and catching them here at the Dr. Phillips Center in Orlando. I like seeing stuff like that. It intrigues me. I appreciate the arts, and not to the extent of a hardcore fan. I can't tell you lines. I can't tell you actresses and actors. I can't tell you any of that. But if I go to a show, I can appreciate why I'm there and what I'm seeing. And that's why I watch Kageki Shoujo. And I'll be honest, I was going to get into this during our reviews. The first half was better for me than the second half. But like I said, that ending was super duper solid. And I appreciated that ending very much. And because of that ending, I would want to see a season 2. And so as a show as a whole, yeah, I would recommend it, especially with like the themes that the Kageki does touch on. For sure, I would recommend it because those are the type of animes that I'm drawn to, things that are real life. We have this conversation with plenty of people in our groups, and with other people that we talk to. They watch anime to avoid real life. That's why people love shonen and isekais and things of that nature, because it's all fantasy. There's no way. I think there might be a way, but there's no way in present reality that these things happen. Meanwhile, when you watch slices of life and you watch shoujo anime and things of that nature, they're very telling because they reflect and they mirror things and themes and situations from real life. And I appreciate that more. And I love things like that. So yeah, I would recommend it for sure.
All right. So let's now go to a more disappointing one.
Before we do that, we're at an hour and 54.
Okay. All right. So let's cut it here as a part 1.
Okay. I gotta wash my hands because one of the batteries I was dealing with exploded. Yeah. So I've got.
All right, so that'll be our break. Also, guys, stay tuned. When we come back, the next time you hear us, it'll be part 2 of our seasonal finales.